Hi, I'm Rishika, and we're in Dalston in East London with WORLDwrite. We're here to give our messages of support to Ukraine and ask people for theirs.
Hi, my name is Ansara. We also have messages from volunteers in Warsaw in Poland and from Russia for its first episode of From GP with Love.
I'm Louis, I come from Hackney and I'm a student. I think everyone just agrees. They look at the stories that's going on in Ukraine and nothing but sympathy and just horror at what's going on.
Do you think our government is doing enough about this situation?
It's all well and good being supportive with their voices, but that's not what the people of Ukraine need. They need actual, tangible help. Really, we need to decide if we're going to be on the right or the wrong side of history here.
Свого чоловіка, свого батька вдома. Біль, який я просто вирішила, що я просто його переживу і виплачу лише після нашої перемоги. Тому що зараз просто ми не маємо права плакати, ми зараз маємо бути сильними. І кожен має бути сильним на своєму місці. Так, щоб ми могли самі про себе дбати, а не бути якоюсь обузою для цього суспільства, розумієте? І це дуже приємно, коли я бачу, коли людина дуже ввічливо до мене ставиться, коли вона просто намагається зрозуміти мову, яку вона ніколи не розуміла. Це просто дуже вражає і викликає дуже велику вдячність. І мені просто хочеться плакати, коли я бачу, що люди дійсно так щиро ставляться.
І останнє, мабуть, може у вас є декілька слів, повідомлення?
Люди, ви дуже мужні. Вражена вашою мужністю. Я вам вдячна. Я бажаю нам тільки перемоги. Бажаю нашій армії перемоги. Велика вдячність вам, хлопці. Хай вас Бог береже.
My name's Callum and I come from England, United Kingdom. The whole Putin situation is really quite terrifying for everyone, and particularly obviously everyone in Ukraine. Like my heart goes out to everyone that's over there.
Do you have a message of solidarity for Ukrainian people?
Yeah, like just obviously just keep fighting. I know they're pushing back the forces really well.
You think Ukraine can win?
Yeah, 100%. I think they can win, and I do think that they are probably going to need more help, you know, from the countries around them. So, including us, like we need to get more stuck in. They might need troops on the ground. That's definitely going to be something that's going to help them. But you know, they've done an amazing job so far.
So my name is Badria and I'm from Somalia. I was born in the UK. Currently at college studying health and social care. Well, I think is very devastating about what they're going through. I mean, everyone in the UK here, everyone around the world, I think, is, you know, feeling empathy and sympathy for them. And they don't deserve to go through what they're going through. And that, you know, they know that the whole UK and everyone around the world is supporting them.
I'm Jack. I'm from London. I'm a writer at the moment. Well, we who have so much have to help those who've got little. So people don't really want your used coats and your used material. They want money and they need food and they need support. So we want our leaders to do something, and we want to look after people in Ukraine and do the things we should have done in Syria and in Iraq and look after people. I can't speak Ukrainian, but we're thinking of you. We're thinking of you.
My name's Michelle and I'm a university lecturer and I live in Dalston in East London. The situation in Ukraine absolutely appalls me and horrifies me and makes us all realise how delicate and fragile democracy is. And we and many of the people I know are in awe of the Ukrainian people and everything they stand for.
My name's Greg, I'm from Edinburgh, I live in London and I'm an actor. I think no one should have to go through that, no one should have to run from their home, their families. Yeah, it's horrible.
Do you have a message of solidarity for the people of Ukraine?
Just stay strong and I hope it ends soon. And I think, you know, you wake up every day thinking about it, you see it in the news and it's not being messed over here and we are thinking about it and it's awful.
Hi, I'm Konstantin, I'm from Greece and I work in a marketing company.
I'm Katya, I'm from Berlin and I'm a photographer.
Honestly, I think it's really terrible and sad. It's close to us, you know, I mean, both geographically and emotionally. So I really just hope this finds a peaceful as possible, a way to end as soon as possible, because it's a scary situation for everyone.
Well, I'm from Poland, so my family is very close to Ukraine, and I'm there with my thoughts every day, and it makes me very sad.
You know, I hope they come out of this stronger, and I invite everyone who can to support any charities they can, or whether it's through monetary donations or actual, you know, clothes or food or whatever they can give. You know, everyone can help even a little bit.
Yeah, I just would like to tell them that they don't have the feeling that they're alone, that we are with them, and they have to not to give up the fight.
My name's Freya. I'm from London, from just around the corner, and I'm an artist. I can't imagine what it must be like for everyone there.
Do you have a message of solidarity for the people of Ukraine?
Just to say that we're all thinking about you here, and sorry for what's going on.
Hi, my name is Maria. I'm from Russia, but now I live in London. I'm a film studies student and a content manager, part-time.
What do you think about the situation of Ukraine?
I really cannot accept such thing is happening in a 21st century. I really think it's horrible, and it is a very big testing on the world we live in, you know.
And do you have a message of support for Ukrainian people?
Yeah, I'd say as a person from Russia, I would say just, guys, we stand with you, I stand with you. I hope this horrible thing will be over soon and the people of our two countries will be friends and brothers again. I really hope for that.
As a Russian people, are you scared about as to be a Russian here now?
Yeah, I mean, I really think the thing is happening to us, the Russians, is not as horrible as what is happening with Ukrainians, but we're being banned. The Russian opera singers and ballet dancers are being fired, and like, you know, like some Russian people are being like banned from their jobs, from like cafes and all the stuff, and now people in Russia, they lose all their money. And actually for me, I'm not afraid of being Russian, I'm not ashamed of this, but you know, I really started to feel very uncomfortable around this situation. Like, that's why I'm here now. I want to say that we are the Russians, we are against what is happening in Ukraine, and I would say, please guys, don't blame us, don't ban us. We all need to collaborate, not the politicians, but the people. We need to collaborate just to stop this. So, yeah.
What's happening for young people in Russia who protested?
It's a very, very bad thing, because like if you go on a protest, you can get up to 10 years of imprisonment for this. So yeah, now it's very dangerous to go on a protest. So then again, guys, please don't blame us for not protesting. We try our best.
My name is Rishika. I'm a student and I'm from India. I think what's happening in Ukraine is absolutely appalling. People are having to flee. There's a lot of bloodshed. There's a lot of violence. So I hope it comes to an end soon.
And what's your message?
I think the Ukrainian people have shown tremendous courage, and through that they have won the hearts and minds of people all over the world. And I hope that leaders take decisive steps against what's happening so that we can put an end to the violence soon.
What's your name?
Nathaniel.
Nathaniel.
Yeah.
And you're from Israel?
I'm from Israel, yeah. I've been to the border between Poland and Ukraine for the last several days. I saw all of the refugees, huge numbers, and I can say my insight about what happens there. First of all, it's a very bad situation. I mean, I can't even describe what I saw there. I mean, you see people who were lawyers, who were teachers, who were middle-class families 1 week or 10 days ago, and now they are refugees. I mean, they're waiting in line to get hot soup, to get medications for their father and mother, to get toys for their children, and I can't even describe how weird it looks on this year, on this continent. But I would like to say, I mean, I saw the Polish and the European nations and people help with all of their heart. They're doing whatever they can. I mean, organizations, people, they're just coming to the border and do whatever they can. I mean, I saw so many volunteers from Sweden, from Germany, who just left their life and came to the border to help the refugees. I wanted you to know, Ukrainian people, that you are not alone. At the end, you will come back to your homes and they will be in the free Ukraine, and this is my message to you.
I'm Louise. I'm from Essex. I'm a school assistant librarian. My prayers go to them. I hope that there is peace very soon.
Hi, I'm Bianca. I'm a student and I'm from Romania. I think it's horrible what's happening there and people should not die.
My name is Dominique. I am from Woodford and I'm an admin paralegal. I think the situation that's going on in Ukraine is really, really horrible, and I just hope that everyone that is living over there and everyone that is fleeing can make it out safely, and anyone that's staying, they all stay safe with their families.
I'm Hong, I'm from London, Dalston, and I teach.
And what are your thoughts on what's happening in Ukraine?
Oh, it's so tragic just to see ordinary people's lives who live 2.5 hours away from, from this country by plane are enduring such, tremendous hardship just like that. It happened overnight and their lives have changed completely.
And do you have a message of solidarity for the people of Ukraine?
That they're not alone. I think the world has woken up to the fact that, our comfortable lives can be changed suddenly by the whim of one person. And then we've got to be aware that there are other people watching this and thinking, what can they do? If one person get away with this, what can they do? So yes, the solidarity is absolutely there.
Hi, I'm Phil. I'm from Brockley and I work in communications. I think the whole of Europe and the world want to see this situation resolved as quickly as possible, and the Ukrainian people get the support that they need. In particular, the refugees who, our hearts go out to them when we see them on the news hour by hour. Everybody is trying to do all that they can to ensure that this situation is resolved and that Ukraine remains free, independent and secure for the long term.
I'm Cornell. I'm studying at Redbridge College doing performing arts, and I'm from Poland. My current thoughts in Ukraine, what's happening is we as a country need to do more to support Ukraine and what is happening and what Russia is doing. It's not fair on the people that's there.
And what's your message of solidarity for the people of Ukraine?
Ukraine, you're not alone. People like us, we're standing for you. You're not alone. Please don't be afraid.
My name's Ivo and I'm a PhD student at Cambridge. Keep going and we're all thinking of you.
My name's Rena. I am from London and I'm a psychologist. I think it's terrible. It's a terrible atrocity. We never thought something so terrible could happen in my lifetime. I can't even imagine what the people of Ukraine are going through. I just wish them all the best for getting through these really challenging times, and wish them all the strength and luck. And yeah, all my support would go to them.
So my name's Flo. I'm from New Zealand and I work in HR.
Hi, I'm Nicole. I'm also from New Zealand and I'm unemployed.
I think it's really sad. Obviously, a lot of people being displaced for nothing of their fault, and obviously, I want to be able to support them as much as we can. Absolutely horrible. I don't think that should be happening in 2022 as well.
My name's Chloe. I'm from Brighton, but I live in London, and I'm a jeweller. I think it's amazing how many people have come out in protest and spoken out online to say that they're against this, and we're all thinking of you and rooting for you.
My name is Cesar Georgesko. I was brought up in Romania. And now I work and live in Warsaw, so I've had, it's not every day you go in the office and you have your people crying, right? Your Polish colleagues crying, so I'm very, very sympathetic by that. But I think it is in a way our fault, because we did not realize what was happening in Russia. It is, we put up with Putin in particular and his government's behavior for too long. I'm not a politician, I'm an engineer, but I understand politics to a very large extent, and coming from the area, I think I also have an insight in it. But governments, I think the Romanian government and the Polish government are doing quite a lot, and partly because they are afraid of what could happen to them, right? If that would happen. Because now I'm British, I'm bitterly disappointed by at least the political, very xenophobic approach that to the refugee program that the UK government has. That's shameful for the British people, of which I could be one, but whatever I am. But the point I'm trying to make is that I think militarily they've done better, the British government, trying to help the Ukraine forces, but military forces. But when it came to the civilian situation, it's shameful what they did. So look at Poland, 150,000 Ukrainian people living in Warsaw alone. And I think up to 1.5 million in Poland overall. So I think they're doing enough. Now, what I disagree with, but that's probably my interpretation. Militarily, they should do more. They should actually support Ukraine militarily more. There is no. I also am convinced that if they don't do more militarily, war will come to Europe. Sooner or later, Putin will ask for more, and then war is up on us whether or not we want it. Anyway, there is another niggling question for me, sort of personally, and for the Romanian and Moldavian people. Moldova was part of Romania, is an independent country right now, just like Ukraine. They have the same territorial disputes with Russia over Transnistria, but there is something more in Moldova. 1 million Romanian people live in Moldova, very significant part of the population. So if Putin would attack Moldova, I do not know if Romania will just stand by. If you look at what happened in Ukraine with the protests when Lukashenko had to be booted out at the crook, what happened in Romania with the anti-communist revolutions, we need to do more of that. And I know it's difficult in Russia, but that is the only way. So I do deeply admire those people that have a courage to stand up to Putin. Amazing.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, and lastly, do you have any solidarity message for Ukrainians? You can say it right to the camera if you want something like that.
Keep fighting, and we'll support you as much as we can. Absolutely.
Петербуржцы и другие россияне с этого самого дня, 24 февраля, непрерывно выходят на площади и улицы наших городов. Их разгоняют полицейские, штрафуют, сажают в автозаки, применяют физическое насилие. Многие из нас боятся. Страх свойственным каждому человеку. Это естественный инстинкт. Но человеческое существо тем и отличается от животных тем, что с помощью разума мы способны перебороть наши животные инстинкты. Мы способны объединиться, мы способны выступить против страха. Сейчас я призываю всех россиян не бояться выходить на площади, выходить на наши улицы, защищать свое слово. Я поддерживаю украинский народ в борьбе за мир и говорю сейчас от лица россиянина. Мы вместе и только вместе мы сможем победить это зло за борьбу за мир.
I'm Ivla, I'm a barber, and I'm from Guyana. Well, I think Russia should come out, get out of there with the troops, and actually start rebuilding Ukraine, because what they're doing is wrong. I also think that the wider world should get involved and kick Putin's ass. That is what I think.